Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara if you don't know me, and I am currently in Pennsylvania, although usually I am living in the Dominican Republic. And today I thought I'd do a video about my reverse culture shock that I've experienced since being here. So in case you haven't heard that term before, culture shock is when you go somewhere new, you see all the new things that that culture has that are completely different from yours. And reverse culture shock is when you go back to where you're from and you see it with new eyes and you realize, oh, this is different. This is not what I'm used to, because you've already gotten used to the new culture. Today I'm just going to compare some of my first reactions being back here in the US. I've been here for about a week now, and some things are just weird to me now. So let's start. Right off the plane, what was my first impression? Well, I got in the immigration line and I was surrounded by Americans, and of course there was a couple behind me who were whining because this is the US where we have everything and complain about everything. It's just weird to be surrounded by people speaking English again, and honestly that makes it kind of hard not to eavesdrop, because if everyone's speaking Spanish around me, I'm not trying to listen, so I'm not understanding anything. But in English, I'm not trying to listen, they're just speaking a language that I understand very, very well, and just like, oh, I can hear all these different conversations suddenly. Next thing has been weird. So driving back from the airport, we stopped at a gas station and I went to the bathroom. I used the toilet paper, maybe this is TMI, but I was looking for the trash can for the toilet paper to throw it in, and then I realized, oh, you just throw it in the toilet. Forgot about that. Because in the DR, you have to throw the toilet paper in a trash can. Here, you just throw it in the toilet. It looked kind of weird, honestly. TMI, but it looked weird. So I flushed the toilet, came out of the stall, and then there was a girl filling up her water bottle in the bathroom sink. I was like, what? And then I realized, oh, you can drink the water here. You're not gonna die. So that was something weird. And then I was like, oh, okay, let me go get my water bottle. I went to get it, and the pathway was sort of perpendicular, cutting through the line to the register, and I sort of was coming right when this guy was finishing, and he went in front of me, and then he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, It's okay. I can't tell you how long it took me to find the words, it's okay, instead of, oh, está bien, like, English now. That was honestly surprising to me, because one of the hardest things to control when you're learning a new language is not reacting in your first language, something I personally noticed. And so when I just reacted almost automatically in Spanish, I was like, oh, English, change my brain. Had to go back to English. I was like, wow, that took me way too long to just say, it's okay. So yeah, I have to speak English again, which honestly is not a complaint either, because every single interaction doesn't take twice the amount of thinking. I just respond in English. Simple. Another thing that has been very weird going in stores, and this is not so much culture shock, well it is, but this wasn't a culture shock you would have before 2021, and that has been that some people are wearing masks, some people are not. That is so weird to me, because you have to wear masks, it's required. And here, well now, as of June 28th, it's optional for people who are vaccinated. So that has been really nice. I am vaccinated, so I don't have to wear a mask. Sometimes I do, I don't know if I want to get out of the habit, because I know I'm gonna have to go back and then get used to wearing masks, and it's gonna be twice as hot and humid there. So I haven't really been without a mask that much, just because I'm so used to it now. Also, everywhere there's air conditioning, so it's not as miserable to wear a mask. But that has been weird, seeing mostly everybody without a mask. Some places it's more 50-50, but there's a lot of people without masks. It's just kind of weird that it's almost normal here again. So my main transportation here is driving, which is different. I don't drive in the DR. One thing I've noticed, if someone else in my family is driving and I'm in the back seat, it is not my first thought to put on my seatbelt, whereas it used to be when I was just living here. So that's something kind of bad that I need to get back in the habit of doing. There I just hop in an Uber, hop in a shared ride, a car, no seatbelt. That's not a thing, sadly, but that's just the way it is. So here I have to get used to putting on my seatbelt again. That's when I'm a passenger. When I'm driving, so I don't drive in the DR, but I feel like it has affected my driving. I was driving the other day on a small road, and then I was going through an intersection with a stoplight. I had a green light. There was someone coming the other direction who was waiting to turn left. I was driving and I slowed down for them to turn left, and then I realized, Kara, what are you doing? I don't know what that was, but hey, it was nice for them. I let them go. Maybe not nice for the person behind me, but when they drove past me on the other lane, I just reclined my seat back. Please don't look at me. Don't look at me, I'm embarrassed. That was weird. I was like, oh, I'm just supposed to go because I have the right of way. In the DR, I have no idea how driving works. I just know it's a lot crazier. First of all, there definitely would not have been a stoplight at that little intersection on that little road. Second of all, that person would have already gone. They would have already turned left. Doesn't matter how fast I was going. They would have gone. I would have swerved around them maybe. I don't understand the right of way thing there, but people just go. There's no stop signs. You just honk, just go through. So that was weird. I was like, oh, why did I just do that? I don't know if it was just because I haven't been driving for 6 months, but I feel like at least part of the blame has to fall on being driven around in that environment where nobody stops, you just go, because that is totally different from here where there's stop signs, stop lights everywhere, every single corner, no matter how big the street. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic signs and signals here that are just not there in the DR. Another thing that I've noticed is that my skin has gotten so dry. When I came back for Christmas, this happened too. My skin got so dry, and I thought it was just because it's winter, so my skin dried up. But then it happened now too, when I came back in the middle of summer here, and I'm just like, why? Why does my skin have to be so dry? And my lips got all dry and cracked, even to the point of bleeding. Sorry if that's TMI, but I didn't realize it was that dry here before. I think my skin has actually gotten accustomed to being there, and I don't know, but it's really dry. I had to use 2 layers of moisturizer. It's weird. Also, maybe another thing that could be causing the dry skin, maybe, I don't know, this is just a theory, but it could be the air conditioning, because now I have air conditioning 24/7. In the DR, yes, I have air conditioning, but I only use it at night. So when I'm here, it's like, wow, I'm not sweating all the time. Kind of nice. Oh my gosh, I just shot my ring across the room. Kind of nice, honestly, not a complaint at all that I'm not sweating all the time. Let's see, something else. Going to the grocery store was a whole experience. First of all, there's so much food here, so much variety, whatever you want. There's like 20 brands of it, which is weird. And there's just so much pre-made food that you can just buy and eat rather than ingredients, which I feel like is the main thing in grocery stores in the DR. You buy the ingredients, then you make your own food rather than buying a prepackaged meal or frozen meal and just heating it up or something pre-made. There's so much food here. Second, in the grocery stores, going into the produce section, I was buying bell peppers, which is something I also buy a lot in the DR, and I was looking at them trying to decide which one to buy, but they're all perfect. They're all the same, all perfectly colored, perfectly shaped. That's weird. Vegetables should not be like that. In the DR, I have like some brown spots, some green spots, sort of misshapen or some marks or something. I feel like that's more normal. I don't know what we did to our vegetables, GMO or something, but it's weird. What happens to all of our bad vegetables? Where do they go? I'm not complaining that everything is perfect here, but it's just a little unnatural. The strawberries are huge here, like that big, versus like normal size. Also, we have a farmer's market here. If you buy the strawberries there, they're normal size. So something is up with our supermarket produce, which I mean, I kind of knew before, but this definitely just emphasized it. That is all that I have on my list for today. These are just the things that have been my first impression coming back here after being in the DR for nearly 11 months, at least 6 months straight in a row. This is my first impression coming back, my first experience being back here where the COVID restrictions have essentially been lifted. And just again, I'm not complaining about either culture. It's just interesting to me to compare them and see what are the differences, what are the biggest things that I have found weird coming back here. So I hope this was interesting to you and maybe you learned something about one of the 2 cultures. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!